What it is, folks, your homeboy Ferg back again with another installment of this Put It On Something Special. Who's the GOAT QB? As you can see today, we're going to be looking at the resume of John Elway. Okay, John Elway, definitely one of those ones when I was a child, for real. One of those ones who was always thrown up there in that GOAT talk with Joe Montana, who, when I was coming up, was considered the undoubted GOAT. But it was kind of like John Elway was viewed as like the Aaron Rodgers to Joe Montana's Tom Brady. Okay, Montana had the Super Bowls, and Montana had the poise and was great in the pocket, but Elway had that ooh-wee. Elway had that arm. Elway had that mobility. And then finally, at the end of his career, he did get him 2 Super Bowls. But as we'll talk about a little later, I think the running game is what really drove that. Okay, so but we're gonna look at his resume, and we're gonna see, do y'all think he has a claim to the title as the GOAT QB? You feel me? But before we get into it, y'all need to go ahead and do that right now. Do that right now. You feel me? It costs you nothing to hit that button. Go ahead and subscribe. You feel me? Also, follow me across all social media platforms. Once y'all done watching this, y'all see it in the description. You feel me? And don't forget to shop with Statement T. That Statement T, every t-shirt you wear makes a statement. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. All right, we're talking John Elway today. As I told y'all previously with this QB GOAT project, I want to look at all these quarterbacks in more detail. You know what I'm talking about? Give more information about all these guys, not just who got the most bowls or who threw for the most yards. You know what I'm talking about? Really want to look at them, look at their story a little bit, and also look at the team that they had around them. All right. So John Elway played 16 seasons. All right, from 1983 to 1998. All with the Denver Broncos. Okay, he's one of the best all-around athletes from what I've heard to play the quarterback position. He actually played football and baseball at Stanford, and actually he signed with the New York Yankees. Okay, but like I said, he played football at Stanford, and that legendary play and legendary highlight that y'all see so many times where Stanford versus Cal, and you got that legendary call from the announcer, the band is on the field. That was a game in which John Elway was playing with Stanford. Okay, before all that mayhem happened, he had actually led what should have been the game-winning drive. Before that, he converted on a 4th and 17, and they end up ending that drive with a field goal to go up 19-17. But y'all saw what happened in that mayhem. All right, they end up losing that game. All right, but he had a great career at Stanford. Actually, came close to winning the Heisman Trophy, but he lost to Herschel Walker. Okay, y'all know Herschel Walker went on to have a great career in the NFL, and he's currently doing a bunch of crazy shit out there in Georgia in politics right now. Y'all real ones out there in Georgia, make sure y'all take your ass out there and vote, please, my God. All right, but John Elway went on to be drafted by the Colts, but he refused to go there. Okay, he actually threatened to play for the Yankees instead, and so this made people feel some type of way about him. We've seen this in more recent years. You saw that Eli Manning kind of forced his way to the New York Giants. You know what I'm saying? But back then in the 80s, well, folks felt some type of way about Eli too. I think they kind of felt like, who you supposed to be? You got that Manning name. You feel like you supposed to just force your way somewhere. So Elway got some of that as well. And if you watch his Sports Century, which y'all can check that out, it's on YouTube. Hall of Fame quarterback, Steelers legend Terry Bradshaw let him have it. You feel me? Now, y'all know Terry Bradshaw, current commentator for Fox, Fox NFL and shit like that. He went off about John Elway. So y'all go check it out. But he said he believed John Elway probably would never win You know what I'm saying? That, yo, you want to go play baseball, go play it. You know, kind of, folks didn't like that. And in that clip with Terry Bradshaw, it kind of embodies the fact that, you know, folks kind of thought he was coming in as a hot dog, as a hot shot. Who the fuck you supposed to be type shit. You know what I'm talking about? But John Elway did turn out to be one of the ones, okay? And he became known for his strong arm. He became known for his mobility. Okay, I told y'all, compared to like Joe Montana or Marino, who's around in this same time and stuff like that, those guys mainly were doing their thing from the pocket. But Elway could scramble a little bit and still throw that thing over your head, stupid strong arm, and he was known for his comebacks, okay? I know Broncos fans, they remember the drive against the Browns in the 80s and the drive part 2 against the Oilers, you feel me? So this man one of them ones, okay? So let's look at his resume, you feel me? John Elway did win an MVP in 1987, okay? I think a lot of people remember 90s Elway from the Super Bowls, but it seems like the better statistical Elway was actually in the 80s. Kind of like Michael Jordan. You know, Mike won all his championships in the 90s, but it seemed like the crazy numbers, Michael Jordan, his highest point per game is in the 80s, highest assists per game is in the 80s, highest steal per game is in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that. So it seemed like that's kind of like the same thing with Elway. That's when he got his MVP award, okay? He is in the Hall of Fame. He went in the class of 2004. He has 2 Super Bowl rings, as I alluded to. His first one he won in 1997 against my Green Bay Packers. You talking about heartbreak, America. Heartbreak. Oh, we should have repeated. We were so loaded. The damn Broncos. You had that play in that game. You got that legendary play where he's scrambling. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's known for scrambling, but this is an older John Elway. And he's scrambling, and they hit him. And that motherfucker did a little helicopter and shit. We couldn't stop Terrell Davis. I think one of my safeties did some dumb shit leading up to the game. So we let them hit us over the top for a bomb. It just was fucked up. Heartbreaking. But they got it done. All right, and it was very emotional because, you know, the man had been to so many Super Bowls, as I'm getting ready to let y'all know about, and couldn't get it done. So finally got it done after the 1997 season. But then them motherfuckers said that ain't enough. They went back to back. All right, we got another one in 1998. And after that, he said, fuck it, I'm gone. You know what I'm talking about? But as I alluded to, those were the only 2 Super Bowls he played in. He actually played in 5 Super Bowls, okay? Starting in 1986, then he went in 1987, went in 1989, then he had that drought, all right? Finally got back in 97 and then again in 98, all right? But again, 3 Super Bowl appearances in the 80s, an MVP in the 80s. I'm sure he was catching hell. I'm sure folks were probably saying he's great, but he can't get it done. You know what I'm saying? He probably heard that shit all that time leading up to 1997 when they upset my Packers. So it's probably why it was so emotional for him when they finally got there. Now, I want to say the owner of the team was like, this one's for John or some shit when they finally won it. You know what I'm talking about? But Elway's playoff record was 14-7. His playoff passing yards was 4,964. Playoff passing yards per game was 225.6. Playoff touchdowns was 27. Playoff interceptions was 21. His playoff passer rating was 79.7. His regular season record was 148, 82, and 1. His regular season passing touchdowns, he threw 300, which ranked 3rd when he retired, and it now ranks 13th. His regular season interceptions, he threw 226. That ranked 12th when he retired. He's now 17th in that statistic. His passing yards, he threw 51,475 yards, which ranked second when he retired. He's now 11th. His regular season passer rating was 79.9. That ranked 23rd when he retired. That's now 87th. His regular season passing yards per game was 220. But now let's get into what made him a little different again from Marino and from Montana and these other cats that era that everybody love to talk about. He did get down a little bit. Okay. He ran for 3,407 yards on the ground and scrambled or quarterback sneak, however he got it done. We got 33 rushing touchdowns. Okay. So big arm, mobility, to get it done inside or outside the pocket. Okay. But let's see what he had with him. Okay. From the team standpoint. All right. John Elway was blessed to have 9 top 10 scoring defenses in his career, including having the number 1 scoring defense in 1989. Okay. And his 2 Super Bowl wins, he had a top 10 defense. Okay. Again, if you watch all the editions of this project, you'll see that top 10 defenses and Super Bowl appearances or Super Bowl wins kind of goes hand in hand. All right. In terms of top 10 rushing offenses, John Elway was blessed to have 7 of those, including the number 1 rushing offense in 1996. And just like he had a top 10 scoring defense for both of those Super Bowl wins, he did also have a top 10 rushing offense for both of those Super Bowl wins. Okay. Run the damn ball, America. Stop the run, America. Hey, that shit ain't going nowhere. I don't give a fuck what these folks talking about. I know this is in the 90s. Fuck that, okay? Run the ball, stop the run, okay? All right, but let's look at some of the individuals that helped him along the way. He played with Dan Reeves initially. Currently not in the Hall of Fame, but I think Dan Reeves is going to get in the Hall of Fame, okay? He had a 190 and 165 record. He has 4 Super Bowl appearances, okay? I think this man's getting in. He had 3 with Denver, and he ended up having 1 with Atlanta. We're going to talk about that momentarily. His relationship with Elway was not the best. Actually, the relationship was quite contentious. Elway thought that Dan Reeves was too conservative. And the last straw between these two happened when Elway wanted a wide receiver drafted, and instead the Broncos took a quarterback by the name of Tommy Maddox. Does that sound familiar, America? Huh? What about Packer Nation? Does that sound familiar? Don't get me started. Okay. All right, but Reeves was even thinking about trading John Elway to Washington. So that would have been some big shit back then for a top-tier quarterback to get traded like that. But their relationship did not work out, and Mike Shanahan ended up taking over. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but I just like Dan Reeves, I believe that Shanahan's going to get in the Hall. His career record is 170 and 138 for both of Elway's Super Bowl wins. Mike Shanahan was the head coach. Initially, he was Dan Reeves' offensive coordinator. Okay, it's like he kind of swooped in, took the main job. But this was part of the Elway versus Reeves drama that was going on because Reeves felt like, you know, Shanahan, you being this man offensive coordinator, you working with this man directly, you the one that should have told me that this man got a problem with me before it just boom come out in the papers or something like that. So it was messy, y'all. It was messy. And as I alluded to, they ended up facing each other in that last Super Bowl. Okay, so that I told you, Elway beat my Packers for the 1997 championship, but for the 1998 title, it was the Broncos versus the Dirty Bird Atlanta Falcons. coached by Dan Reeves. That's fucking crazy. Sports, I tell my wife all the time, sports is soap operas for men and women, okay? But definitely, this high drama, you know what I'm saying? This shit crazy. All right, well, let's look at some of his notable offensive teammates. And usually what I do with this is go look up what Hall of Famers they had with them for real. And if they didn't have Hall of Famers, I might shout out some guys that were quite notable, okay? But he did have some Hall of Famers down with him, okay? He had a man on that offensive line by the name of Gary Zimmerman, Hall of Fame lineman in class of 2008. He played with Elway from 1993 to 1997. He made first or second team All-Pro 8 times in his career. John Elway had Shannon Sharpe, Hall of Fame tight end, class of 2011. Now, I know everybody sees Shannon Sharpe on there with Skip Bayless, and you hear him being loud, and you see the bravado, you see the suits, and you see the goat mask, and he used to bring the cigar and the drink out there. But this man, Shannon Sharpe, was the tight end of the 1990s. However y'all think about Gronk, however you think about Kelsey today, that was Shannon Sharpe. He was the tight end of the 1990s. This man was one of them ones, okay? He played with Elway from 1990 to 1998. Just go look up some of his highlights. This motherfucker wasn't going. He wasn't going. Not as big as some of these guys today, like a Gronk. Gronk is huge, but Shannon Sharpe was getting it done. You understand me? Also, he played with Hall of Fame running back Terrell Davis. Okay, Terrell Davis is in the class of 2017, and he has one of the most unique careers, y'all. It didn't last long at all. But his peak was a fucking peak, okay? He played with Elway from 1995 to 1998. He was the 1998 MVP, okay? He ran for 2,008 yards that season. Again, it's only a handful of backs that have ever done that, y'all. Terrell Davis was one of them ones. And y'all know that the Denver Broncos became known for their zone blocking. They ran a lot of guys through there that put up great numbers, but nobody did it as good as Terrell Davis. Now, you can argue that it helped him that he had John Elway there. He had Shannon Sharpe there as well. You can argue that, okay? But for his peak, he was a driving force of those title teams, for real. He ran for 100 yards in 7 straight playoff games over the course of that 1997 and 1998 playoff run, okay? Terrell Davis. Bad motherfucker. All right. He also played. John Elway also played with Tony Dorsett, Hall of Fame running back class of 1994. They ain't played together long. They played together in 1988. And if y'all know ball for real, you know that Tony Dorsett's glory years are with my brother Racist Leo's beloved Dallas Cowboys. Okay. So when you think of John Elway, you really think of the guys, like I said, Shannon Sharpe, Terrell Davis. You might also think about guys like Ed McCaffrey, who played wide receiver for that Bronco team. That's Christian McCaffrey's daddy. You might think of Rod Smith. I want to say Rod Smith was the one that beat us over the top of that touchdown in that Super Bowl. It's traumatizing America. Traumatizing memories, America. But Elway is one of those ones, y'all, that I think is starting to kind of fade when people get to talking GOAT talk. It wasn't like that when I was growing up. When I was growing up, he was actively in that discussion because he just had all those tools. He would hit you with the comebacks. You can see him get outside the pocket and run for a first down. You see him get out the pocket and throw a dart, fit it into whatever hole there was in the coverage. People still put Joe Montana over him now, don't get it twisted. But he was in the discussion. It seemed like he's starting to to fade away. It's interesting to me to see Shannon Sharpe on there debating Skip Bayless, and it's hard for me to believe that in Shannon Sharpe's heart that he doesn't really believe that his quarterback John Elway is better than Tom Brady. I would love to see Shannon Sharpe get drunk on some of his Laportier, and that motherfucker really don't drink, by the way, so it wouldn't take him much to get drunk. But I would love to see have a conversation with him, me and him pull up, and me ask him on camera if he really thinks that Tom Brady is better than his boy John Elway. All right, let's make that happen. Somebody, America, retweet this and at Shannon Sharpe. Let's make that happen. I want to drink with him. Let's see if he gonna tell me that. Y'all know that man believe that John Elway better than Tom Brady. To make this happen. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think that John Elway has a claim to be the GOAT quarterback? Let me know what y'all think. And don't forget, hit that button. It costs you nothing. You feel me? Subscribe. But appreciate y'all. As always. One. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me across all social media platforms. Like the videos and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit Statement Tees, LLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.